to look forward. There are editors across all of our major newspapers, all of our magazines saying, I need something Tuesday or Wednesday morning. What is the distinction, Laura Davison, that you would write about for Tuesday or Wednesday morning?
So the next steps are not clear. Biden has endorsed Harris, and presumably that means many of his delegates will back Harris. But the big unknown is, will someone else jump into the race? Democratic rules party rules don't require that Biden's delegates back Harris. So, California Governor Gavin Newsom, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, they want to jump in the race. Suddenly, we could have a contested convention on our hands. No. There's a couple, things that are totally uncertain here. The biggest question is just, where do those camps start to fall in line? We're already seeing a lot of lawmakers come out and endorsing Kamala Harris. She also has an advantage because she can inherit the money in the Biden campaign. A new candidate would not be able to inherit that money and would have to start from scratch. The other thing that's also on everyone's mind too is from a global perspective. What does this mean for foreign leaders and particularly for adversaries? Is there some sort of new, fresh national security threat that could be injected into the atmosphere? With sort of this period of uncertainty around who might be in charge of the Democratic Party going forward.
Laura, what is the way that we've seen Kamala Harris being used over these last couple of weeks tell you about the path forward? She has been out campaigning. Obviously, she's been rather quiet on this issue, but she held a very important call with donors on Friday of this week, trying to assuage many of their concerns about the prospects of this happening as Joe Biden was figuring all of this out. Any insight that you can glean just from the way that she has been acting or the Democratic Party and the campaign have been using her in recent days that might foretell what she's going to be like, how she's going to approach the campaign going forward?
In addition to that call of donors, we've also seen her just more front and center in advertising and, fundraising appeals that have gone out via email, on social ads. She's also been hitting the campaign trail very hard. So you can kind of see there was a very quiet ramp up, in case this, was the situation that we now find ourselves in. What's different about her is she has been very different on the campaign trail than Biden. Biden has really focused on those blue wall states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. She has more focused on some of the southern states, Arizona, Nevada, and the messages that they carry are very different. Biden was focused on, the economy and jobs, on union workers. Harris has been much more about abortion, that being an issue that she's very comfortable talking with, and that Biden isn't. So there will be sort of a reformulation of how Harris tries to position herself if she is in fact the nominee, and of course if all of the people who might want to be her running mate, that's going to be something that party leaders and delegates are going to be looking at. What balances her out? Do you go to someone like Josh Shapiro, who's the governor of Pennsylvania, who might appeal to more of those blue wall states? All of this, parlor talk game theory will be what's happening now and will be happening for the coming hours and days.
Laura, you mentioned Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania. He out with a statement. J.B. Pritzker, governor of Illinois, he out with a statement as well. We are seeing one by one many of the people whose names we've heard floated in recent weeks come out, acknowledge the moment, some acknowledging Kamala Harris's candidacy explicitly. We look ahead to Chicago. There was the expectation before all of this that was going to be kind of a fractious event. What is your reporting? What is our colleagues' reporting telling us just about the timetable on which this will happen? You mentioned there are those who could throw their hats in the ring. It seems like people are coalescing pretty quickly here. What's your sense of when we will know just how fractious that convention is likely to be?
We'll know probably in the next, couple days or the next couple days, mid this week. The convention starts August 19th, so, less than a month from now. But it will be very clear if there will be challengers or not. Because time really is ticking. I mentioned earlier that, money is going to be a big factor here. This could end up being the determining factor of, who has donors lining up behind them and able to, mount a challenge. Democrats were going into this race expecting to way out fundraise and outspend Trump and the Republicans. In the past couple months, we have seen those tides reverse, and Trump has much more money on hand.
One final question, and please make it quick, Laura, because we're backed up here coming into the 3:30 hour, and thank you for your efforts today. How does the vice president campaign in conservative Democratic districts and sections of our nation? How does she prosecute that?
This is going to be one of the toughest things from her. Republicans have already ramped up, attacks on her. Donald Trump has been and his team have been focusing on messages. So she's going to have to come up with a new message. Abortion may be that message. We know that resonates in red states, but she's going to have to think about a new economic message and a way to reposition herself and reintroduce herself to the American public.
Laura,